What does your money avatar look like? Is it he or a she? And why is it so important? Let's find it today in today's episode. I'm Gull Khan, your host, and as a money mindset expert, I help entrepreneurs to break free from the limiting beliefs, to reverse their money shame, and to blast through the money blocks so that they can live a life of unlimited abundance. Now, today we're talking about your money avatars and why they're so crucial. So before I actually talk about money avatars and what are they and how to find who you or what is your money avatar, let's discuss why this is so important. Now, as in the previous episodes, I've talked about the fact that most people have this really negative relationship with money. Subconsciously, unconsciously they may be saying, I want money, I like money, I want to have more money in my life. But subconsciously, they have this really negative feeling and ideas about money. And then in one of the previous episodes, I asked you to do an exercise to get a pen and paper to actually really work out, how do you really feel about money? And so in today's episode, I'm going to talk about another technique that you can use. So instead of writing it down, I just want you to blurt out, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about money? And I promise you, most people, if they're honest and they're struggling with money, the first thing that comes to the mind is bills, mortgage, rent, credit card bills, high car purchase bills, everything that's related to money going out, which causes them to feel stress and frustration and anger towards money. You'll be surprised how people actually blame money for the lack of it. I just can't have money, or what the hell do I need money for? Money's so annoying, money so this, etc., fill in the blanks, right? Whereas money has nothing to do with it. It's not money's fault that you are not attracting it. It's not money's fault that you are repelling it. It's not money's fault that it's not coming close to you, right? This is why today's episode is so important. I want you to actually verbalize, when you think of money, what comes to your mind? Okay. Is it bills? Is it student loans? Is it credit card bills? And once you have an idea of everything that comes to our mind when I'm thinking about money, how does it make you feel? Most people don't feel great when they're paying the rent, the mortgage, credit cards, etc. If anything, they feel negatively. They feel, do I have enough to cover all the bills? Do I have enough to make sure I meet make all my needs? Can I all my demands? That's the first thing that most people think about. Do I have enough in the bank to make sure that everything's paid this month? I remember it because I used to be one of them. Right? I'm not much different from those of you watching right now. I'm the 2.0 version of you. I had these same thoughts go through my mind, and this is irrespective of the amount of money you make. Because what I find, because most of my clients are from professional backgrounds, and being a lawyer, I attract a lot of them, like doctors, lawyers, and accountants and so forth. I attract a lot of those in my clients, as well as entrepreneurs. And that's the common thought. I remember having this conversation with the doctor at the time, and she was a doctor, and she's a doctor rather, and her husband is an IT specialist, and their combined income is around about £150,000 a year annually, which is quite a lot for anybody. Yet we were having the discussion because she was worried about making ends meet because of financial commitments and so forth, and they were really struggling financially. Now, how does someone struggle with money when they're bringing in £150,000 annually? Okay, this is where I come in, because this is where I can bring spotlight into your life and think, okay, this is why, regardless of how much money is coming in, money is never going to be enough because X, Y, and Z. So the first step for you to understand is, I want you to be very honest with yourself and think, okay, what do I normally think about when I think about money? Not what you're told in the books, not when you're consciously thinking, well, Napoleon hit such anything positive about money, or the science of getting rich tells me that I need to be more positive about money. Be honest with yourself. What's your day-to-day thinking about money? When you generally hear the word money, what comes to your mind? Not enough? Will I pay the bills? Will I have enough to pay the bills? Etc. etc. So that's the first thing. Okay. Now, if you understand this, and those of you who understand law of attraction says that you need to have positive and loving emotions to whatever you want to attract. Otherwise, you repel it, and that includes money. So if you need to feel positive and happy towards money in order to attract it, how do you feel happy and positive towards money? I'll go through a later episodes in terms of how to remove blocks and what kind of blocks are preventing you. But generally, as an overarching idea, how do we get to feel positive about money? And the answer lies in actually becoming friends with money. Now, I don't know about you, but I find it very difficult to, become friends with inanimate objects. Okay. Actually, that's probably not as truthful now, because I'm friends with a lot of organic matter, like trees and plants or whatever. But piece of paper and paper in general, or coins, it's very difficult to bring emotions up towards that, because you don't. Okay, you can use that money and you can use the coins, whatever, to buy a better lifestyle, better car, better food, etc. But that doesn't actually make you have that affiliation, that love and respect for those coins and piece of paper. And this is the idea that I had when I, going back a few years ago, when the idea of your money avatar was born. Now, we know this for the fact, quantum physics teaches us this. I'm not going to go into this too much detail now. We'll maybe do an episode on this another time. Everything is energy. So at the core, everything is energy, which means money too. Okay, so if everything is energy, but money is in the non-physical plane, you can't see, then why do I need to see money as a piece of paper? This is where your money avatar is born. So I want you to actually personify money. I want you to have an image of money, and this could be anything. Okay, it could be a movie star, it could be an author, it could be an old wise person, it could be someone from the past, the present, or from the future. It doesn't really matter. This is personal to you. Everyone's money avatar will be different, but I want you to personify it. I don't want you to have an inanimate object. I want you to have a living creature. Now, people say, can I use an animal? If you're really close to animals rather than humans, you can use a dog as your money avatar. You can use a tiger as your money avatar. That's possible too, but I want the living creatures. So ideally, I want you to personify into human form. But if you really are not that inclined towards it, and you're more, I know there's people who love animals more, and that's perfectly fine, then personify it as an animal, as a particular animal that you really, really love and care for. Okay, so the first object you do is to actually make this money in the non-physical form as a person or an animal. Okay, you're gonna personify it, I would say, and then give it personality. For example, my money avatar, her name is Michelle, and she is this sexy, sassy, amazing woman. And I get goosebumps when I talk about her, because she's my best friend, right? So this is an amazing woman who's funny as hell. She can be a bit bimboish, she can do funny things, she can be a bit silly like me, and she loves everything that she's like me. She loves Bollywood. She's a Greek goddess. She's got, in my mind, she has these golden locks, and she wears a toga, and she's funny as hell and incredibly witty, incredibly intelligent. That's my money avatar. And she's funny and she's witty, and she's always got my back. So when you personify money, so that's your money avatar. Once you have your money avatar, you can then give it personality characteristics. How do they behave and what do they do and whatever. But the most important characteristic they do is, as your best friend, they always have your back. Can you see what we just did there? In a matter of seconds, we've actually created an environment where you can start developing a positive, healthy relationship with money. And this is absolutely crucial. What you don't want is greed for money. What you don't want is need for money. Okay, I being a banking finance lawyer and being an advocate in general, I would say I'm on the planet as an advocate for money. I really do feel that I'm an advocate for money. I normally say I'm a money mindset expert, but maybe I should start saying I'm an advocate for money. Maybe that's more true to what I am. And as an advocate for money, I can say that in order for you to have more money in your life, you need to have a better relationship with money. And the best way to create a relationship with someone is to become friends with them, right? So when you're friends with somebody, you don't need them. You don't want to hold on to them. You don't want to put them in a cage somewhere. You don't want to lock them in a room somewhere. You want to have fun with this person. You want to have fun with your best friend. And you also know that your best friend will be there before you know you need it. Your best friend will be telepathically, oh yeah, Gull's upset today. Let me go and see what's up. What's up with you? I was thinking about you, and I just felt like I need to call you. Your friends have this telepathic connection with you, this emotional connection with you. If you're down, if you need them, they turn up. That's what best friends do. And that's the kind of relationship we want to create with money. We want money to become your best friend who turns up before you know you need it. She's there or he's there. Okay, this is the idea of your money avatar. So your money avatar is somebody who's going to have your back, who's always going to support you, and who comes and goes. Now, this is so important for you to understand. Money, there's an ebb and flow of money. Money will come, money will go. Money, when it comes to you, it has to go somewhere else. It has to go somewhere else because that's part of it. That's a flow of money, okay? If you try to hold on to it too tightly, you find it eventually slips out your hand. It's like sand. It will eventually leave your hand. But if you allow money to have this flow, come and go, and be happy when you receive money, and then happy for it to go because you know it's going to come back, that is when money starts coming to you in larger abundance. And this is the idea of your best friend. So your best friend would come to you, spend some time with you, spend a lot of time with you, and have lots of fun with you, but then we'll go beyond its merry way and do whatever it needs to. But you will find the stronger relationship you build with money, the more often you see your best friend, right? So if you're really enjoying someone's company, you find that you're spending more time with them. You're going out with them more. You're maybe going bowling or cinemas or lunches or dinners, etc. You spend more and more time with your best friend because you enjoy each other's company, right? You make time for him or her. That's the idea with money. Money will continue to come and go from your energy field, yet it will not be stuck in that particular bank account or in that particular place. When you give it, allow it to come and go and flow, and do it with ease and grace, and do it with happiness. So you're happy to receive money and also happy for it to leave. Obviously you live with sadness, but you know your friend's going to come back with the expectation that you're going to see your best friend in a bit. You're going to see your best friend shortly, with the expectation that you're going to meet them again. You let them go, right? This is absolutely crucial, that we need to have that kind of relation with money, because money will need to come and money needs to go. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how powerful this is? Now this, you can give anything. Now the best way to come up with a money avatar, because that's the question I get. Well, what does my money avatar look like? Well, I'm blank. I don't know how to come up with one. I would say that if you are really blank and you really can't decide how to come up with a money avatar, sit down and think, okay, what would your best friend look like? So you probably have a best friend at the moment, but if you had your ideal best friend, what would he or she look like? Would it be men? Would it be a woman? Or would it be an animal? Starters, right? And then what would they, what would give them a name, right? Okay, and what would they like? What would their interests be? What would they behave? How would they interact with you? How would you know they're your best friend? Etc. etc. Write it down, right? Sit down and work out who is your ideal best friend. Give them a name, and that's your money avatar for the time being. Now, keep in mind, as you evolve, as you continue to listen to this podcast or this video series, and you continue to move forward in learning and teaching and going through my programs, you'll find that your money, your ideas and beliefs and thoughts around money begin to change. And then you'll find your money avatar evolves also. That's perfectly fine, because why would your best friend stay the same? Your best friend wouldn't. They would evolve and grow too, as you would evolve and grow. So expect your money avatar to grow with you, and your relationship will change. It'll become more solid. It'll become more centered. That's perfectly fine, and that's what we're after. We're not after a static relationship. We want this to be a dynamic relationship. This grows and evolves over time, and this is super important. Okay, so once again, today we've talked about your money avatar and the importance of it. The first step you need to do is work out what is your current ideology, thinking, feeling about money, and just be very honest with yourself. When money pops into mind, what are the thoughts that run through your head? Credit card bills, mortgage, student loans, etc. And if those are, and then when you think about those bills, how do you feel? Do you feel happy or sad? Most people feel frustration, anger. If nothing else, the stress, whether to think, okay, do I have enough to cover all my bills? Okay, that's the stress is one of the major ones. What does stress do? It releases cortisol in your body, and it causes you to feel down. Okay, not good for you. Now, so the second part was to create this money avatar. How do we create money avatar? Sit down, write down the characteristics of your best friend. Would it be man, woman, or an animal? Give them a name, give them, how would they behave, what kind of personality would they have, and how would you interact with them? And then after you've done this, that's not enough. Then you need to sit down and talk to your money avatar every single day to build that relationship. The first time, so this happens quite a lot when we in our challenges. So I talk about this quite extensively in my Millionaire Mindset Makeover Challenge, which, by the way, you get to hear about every single episode. And so if you haven't registered for that, please do register. We do those 3-4 times a year. So come along and register to one of those. So during these 5-day challenges, in the challenge, I talk about your money avatar, and we go extensively in terms of how to connect to your money avatar and what to do about it. And then I'll take you through these meditations in terms of connecting with your money and the energy of money. But the point is, you need to be able to really feel connected to this money avatar. And maybe the first time you meet your money avatar, it may be a very standoffish relationship. You may be standoff meeting, right? You can barely say hello, or they don't look upon you, or you're unable to interact with them because you're meeting a complete stranger. For most of you, actually all of you, this is probably the first time you actually decided to meet your money in the spiritual world in this format. Normally you're used to seeing money as a piece of paper or coins or gold and silver coins, but you're not used to seeing money as in this personification as a money avatar. So if it's the first time you meet them, when you first time meet strangers, it's not like, you may not have a happy relationship. You may not hit it on really, really quickly. There are other times you meet strangers and you're like, oh my God, you're amazing. You're my best friend. I love you to bits. That can happen too. But there are times when you may, depending on how you've treated money subconsciously all these years, money may not be so open to you. Money may not want to build that relationship with you. It's quite normal, right? So give it time and patience and build that relationship with money over time. So once you've decided what your money avatar is, then it's time for you to sit down, meditate, and talk and speak to your money avatar and get to know his or her needs and desires from you. And at the same time, it's a two-way relationship. Remember, it's two-way communication. When your best friends can tell you, well, you know what, girl, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. You can say, yeah, that's fine, absolutely fine, Michelle. Okay, so what can I do for you? Right? And then you ask them, Michelle, do you mind coming, helping me out here? I need some help here. So it's a two-way relationship. You both give and receive from each other. That's what best friends are for. You've got each other's back. So the best thing that your money avatar will do, you will begin to trust and believe the money has your back. The money will show up for you easily and effortlessly, and money is always there for you. This is so, so, so important. Okay? I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Money avatar is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I think people don't understand how powerful this one concept is in terms of building your relationship, a healthy relationship with money. Think about it. Your best friend, you don't think, oh, please, please, please come around, I really miss you. If you do that to anybody, they'll feel suffocated and they'll run away from you. On the other hand, you pick up the phone and say, Michelle, I am really missing you, girl. Come, let's have lunch together, or let's go for a coffee or drinks together. Your friends say, yeah, sure, let's go meet up. And you'll meet up and they turn up and you have an amazing time, right? This is this difference. This is the difference between wanting and greedy, being greedy and needy for money, and the other way where you have a healthy relationship with money, where you have love and respect for it. I want every one of you not to have need or greed for money. I want every single one of you to have a healthy relationship with money and to have respect and love for it. See the distinction? See the difference? Okay, hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll catch you next time. This is Gull Khan signing off.